Hey guys, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft. Today we're going to continue talking about bicycles, and today the topic of discussion, or the last bike we're going to cover today, is the touring bike. Now this is my wife's touring bike. Leanne's bike is a Cannondale T500, and this bike is a little bit older than some of our other bikes, but it has served us very well. Now when you start talking about a bike to go out on multiple day journeys where you're going to be carrying all of your equipment with you and being completely self-contained on the road, you're going to be camping and going out and having to carry all of the gear that you need, we can't have a realistic discussion without talking about the touring bike. It is by far probably well, it's the bike that's built just for that. And there's a couple of reasons why. This bike blends the geometry of a road bike, so you get the more efficient, lower tucked comfort of that long distance racing or road bike, but yet it blends that with the heavy dutiness of a frame that you would find in a lot of mountain bikes. This particular bike has a very large frame on it, but yet the weight is not any more than you would find with a mountain bike. The gearing is much more reminiscent of the mountain bike, but like I said, the geometry, the way that you sit in the saddle and the way that you are positioned on the front bars is more of the road bike frame. So you kind of blend those elements together. The other thing that these bikes really have in common that are kind of the deciding factor of why people choose them is both comfort and efficiency. And the efficiency is found in both the brake system. The gearing system is really designed for everything from crossing the Great Plains to climbing the Rockies, right down to the front bar system and the ergonomics of the brake and shifters and the way that they're integrated onto the bar. And you don't have to move your hands a lot to be able to get in good positions that you can control this bike for the different riding environments that you may be experiencing. It comes standard with all of the places that you need to attach racks on the front and the rear, so that gives you the ability to carry 4 panniers on both so that would be 2 on the front and 2 on the back. She also has a handlebar bag for her, which is a pretty significant size. It's probably the size of a shoebox, which allows you to keep any items that you may need to get to without stopping the bike. She would usually keep snacks and maps, the GPS, her cell phone, her spray to ward off animal attacks, a bell up there for ringing and notifying pedestrians. All of that would be mounted on those front handlebars. The saddle of choice for this one was a Brooks saddle once again. We'll talk about that as we get into saddles, but that was the saddle that once broke in, fit her the best. The pedals, we went with a system of pedals on this bike that have both clips and clipless. That allows you a great amount of versatility, and that is true. You could use that on most any of these bikes, but it's something that you see that is an option on the touring bike straight off the floor many times. That just allows you a little bit of versatility we'll talk about later, as far as having your biking shoes on, but yet when you get to a campground or you're riding just back to camp or something like that, and you want to put on some tennis shoes or flip-flops or Crocs or something, you're able to just turn that pedal over and pedal it like a normal bike. But when you start looking at a bike for long distance and multi-day journeys, this is a good option, and something that if you can run across and get a good deal on one, you may want to seriously consider. Many options as far as the different setting positions, as far as seats and stem heights, handlebar configurations, gearing and shifting. There's a lot of options that are available on the market that you can customize this bike to really fit you and to serve your needs well. If I didn't mention it earlier, You can also pull a trailer with these if your options are limited as far as, or maybe your desire. You just don't want to travel with all of the bags strapped to the bike. You'd rather just pull the trailer. I have found that both of those, depending on the trip that I'm going on, are advantageous. Sometimes I like going with just a pannier, and sometimes I like not having any pannier and just pulling a trailer. Sometimes it's a combination of all of those. But it gives you that capability very easy, and the bike handles very well with both of those. It's really what it is designed for. As far as the rims, once again, you can get rims that allow you to go larger or smaller with your tires. However, this one, usually, I say usually because you can have rims made to do anything that you want to do, but standard on most of them, you're going to go from a road style tire, which we have here. We have a fairly thin tire. This is a 700 by 280. So this is more of a narrower road style tire, and you can go up to the size of a tire that will allow you to travel some hard pack, some fire roads, some rail trails, and that type of condition without a whole lot of issue. Now, if you're going to be on some very rough roads, some single track, some very rough type roads that most people would be riding a pretty aggressive mountain bike, you may be very well limited when it comes to your tire selection for this particular bike. But if your plans are to stick to roads, this is an option that you may want to consider very strongly. As we start talking about the individual bikes, we'll get into some more of the details. But the idea here is to just give you an overview of the bikes that I think would be beneficial as you go out and you start looking at the different advantages and disadvantages of the bike. So thanks for joining me once again as we continue this series on bicycling. And until next time, I'm Tim Langston with Red Dog Bushcraft, home of global safety and survival. God bless.